Monday to you. Here in Houston, Texas, it's a little bit wet and rainy. We had a really good weekend this weekend. Unfortunately, my Ole Miss Rebels did not beat the Georgia Bulldogs like I had hoped for, but you know what? We're still having a great season. And, you know, what a great opportunity that Ole Miss is in. And we're going to talk about some of that here in a little bit, just about being in the right place at the right time and what are you trying to achieve down the road. But anyway, I want to welcome everybody to this week's edition of the Fly Like an Eagle Flight Plan. You know, every week we've got an opportunity to be thinking about what we're going to fill our calendars and our schedules with, and what does our time look like so that we are hitting our standards. You know, we've talked about the day-to-day grind. Do we have the right calendars? We've talked about making sure that everything is in our calendar and we follow it to a T. I'm still struggling with this, so it's still a daily event for me to plug into my calendar. I would say that that's probably one of the hardest things that I've had to do as a real estate agent, is plan on my calendar. And so I feel fortunate that I've been able to work on this pretty much every week. I know that this is on here at 10 o'clock on Monday mornings, and I am super excited that we get to do this. You know, last week we went into a deep dive on making sure that we're creating a point systems, and are our point systems actually working for us? You know, every day we have an opportunity to start checking off those boxes. Are we making our phone calls? Are we actually working towards the income producing activities? And are we doing this at a really high level? Today, I want to kind of lock in on some homework for this week, and it's all about vision boards and standards. And, you know, I feel like the things that I really want to start planning on for 2024, they have to be written down. I want to be able to see them. I'm a visual kind of person to begin with. So if I have it in a spot where I can see it, I actually feel like I'm more likely to work towards that goal. Several years ago, we had a group event with our team, and it's something that I really want to work on some more before the end of the week. But that's our vision boards. What are we really doing? And why are we doing this? You know, think about 2024 for your family. Are there specific vacations that you would like to go on? You know, what's the reward for doing the activities to get to go on that vacation? Something as simple could be, you know, what I'd like to work on is doing more family dinners. You know, we've gotten away from it recently, and it's something that is super important for me, is just cooking together, having some good times. And, you know, we talk about it, how much fun we always have. And then another week goes by, and then it turns into another month, and we miss out on some family get-togethers. Food becomes just get it down pretty quickly. So think about, from a vision perspective for 2024 for your family, what does that look like? Then what we want to do is all these different things that we're gonna talk about here in the next few minutes. I want you to write these down, you know, get a book out, make some notes, think about it, scratch out the ones that you think aren't that important, and add the ones as you're going through, and something recalls to your brain what could be very, very important. I feel like the things for our family too are, you know, having more, you know, check-ins, more daily, how are you doing? Those are the types of things that I feel from my parents to my kids to my fiance Jen. I want to have more check-ins and more conversations, that instead of it just being more social type stuff. So that becomes really important. And you know, think about, you know, what that picture looks like. Go hunt for these things on social media. You know, Google search some of these, and then print these photos out. And so we want to get a big piece of a poster board, and we want to start putting these things on there so that we can see what 2024 should look like. Family is going to be the most important thing for me in 2024, so that I'm going to look for some of those types of things. As far as vacations go, there's a couple things that I want to try to work on. For me, I want to work on a trip to Europe. I know that Jen has never been outside of the country, so I'd like to take her someplace that's pretty important. What are some of those places for you? For us, I think Italy would be a great trip. Greece might be a great trip. So we're gonna plug into that and start looking to see what that water looks like. I know that she's very interested in green Caribbean style type water. So what does the vacation look like for us? The next thing I want to put on this vision board is more about faith for me. And I've gotten away from the Sunday church attendance. I've gotten away from daily devotionals. For me, I want to make sure that I've got a photo of the Bible that's on my vision board, because that's super, super important to me. And I feel like that's going to be something that I need to dive deeper into. And I want to wake up every day to a morning devotional. I feel like God's word has been super helpful for me as I've grown in my real estate career. It's helped me with my family struggles and the divorces that I've had. I think my daily walk with God is something that I kind of get away from, and I realize that He's probably more family for me than anything else that's out there. So I want to do this at a really high level with Him, and I feel like by doing that, it's the ability for me to have that daily check-in with someone who I consider to be a really good friend. For a lot of people is very different. No matter what faith that you are, I feel like there's something that we all kind of agree that there is a higher power to us. So no matter what faith you are, create what that vision looks like for you in 2024, and how are you going to participate with your faith at a higher level. I think that's something that we all feel better when we're engaged in doing that. I know that I have a tendency for me to get disappointed quicker when I'm not involved in the daily walks. But if I am involved in the daily walks, I have a little bit more of a confidence to myself, if that makes any sense. So family vision, faith visions, I think, are the two top important things for your vision boards. The next becomes the part of how do you fund all these types of things. And this is going to be the level of income that you feel like that you want to work towards. We've talked several times through the years about the income thermometer. Everybody kind of has this goal of what they want to achieve in their income structures. They might say, well, I want to earn $100,000. Well, if that's what you want to earn, go find $100,000 and put that number on your vision board, or write it on your vision board. Knowing what your monthly costs are every month. What's a budget? For me, 2024 is going to be better about budgeting. I want to make sure that I have everything down on what I'm spending, and then what I want to earn on top of that. That becomes the freedom number that's super, super important for all of us. Then we have this income number. We can then work towards what we need to do for the activities for that. Lead generation becomes something that's super important, that I think is one of the least impactful things that people have on their calendars. They forget it. They just think it's supposed to be just super, super easy. But for me, I want to be better at marketing. So I want to have a marketing photo on my vision board. I want to utilize the tools that we have in front of us at a higher level. I want to use my website be better. I want to be better at blogging. I want to have blogging posts on my vision board. I want to have a telephone on my vision board, because it's going to remind me that in order to speak to people, I need to use my telephone. I want to do more social media. I want to do more connections through social media. I want to send out more newsletters. I want to do a lot of these types of things that's going to help me build my database, that's going to give me the opportunities to reach those income levels that I really want to achieve. Going back to the thermometer part, most people that are independent contractors, when you ask them how much money they want to make, they'll come up with a big lofty number. And that's a great number to be able to have, but then you start chipping away at it. And let's just use that $100,000 mark as an example. And you say, well, I want to earn $100,000. And you say, well, if next year is a tough year and you only make $90,000, would you be happy with that? Most people would say, well, you know what, Rick, that's still more money than I made this previous year. So yes, I'd be happy with that. Well, let's just say it's even a little bit more difficult than that. Let's say it's only $70,000. Would you be happy with that? And now we start getting into this critical number where it's like, well, what are my bills? I have a mortgage, my car payment, I've got, health insurance, I've got all these different things that I have to pay for. My bills cost me this much money every single month. Well, unfortunately, that's what we have a tendency to work towards, is this to get the musts out of the way, not really preparing for the things that we would really like to achieve. So in addition to the needs, we have to identify the wants so that we can work towards both ingredients at the same time. And so this becomes part of your vision. What is going to be the reward, the vacation time, the opportunity for an upgrade on a vehicle, the vacation places that I would go? Do I want 1 week vacation? Do I want 3 weeks vacation? And if I accomplish these metrics of income, I can then afford to do these types of things that are on my vision board. The other things that we have to do is we have to implement our standards. What are we going to do on a daily basis? We worked on this task several months ago when I was asked the same question. And for me, one of the first things that was most important for me, one of the standards, is that I wanted to be in the office every day at 8:30. So on my vision board, I'm going to put a clock with a dial that's at 8:30 to remind me that I have to be at work at 8:30. Now, I have some people that will say that that's too late. Some people may say that that's not early enough, that you need to get started earlier. For me, that's my time. That's a good time for me. I can still put in my 8.5 to 9 hours a day. I can work till 6 o'clock and I can get my stuff done. And I'm still going to work in the evenings, with client calls and things of that nature. So 8:30 is a good time for me. Some people say, well, I want to get in the office at 6 o'clock. Well, if that's your time, make sure that your dial on your vision board says that you want to be at work at 6 o'clock. The other standard for me was limiting the amount of junk food and fast food that I eat on a daily basis. So I'm a Oreo, chocolate chip cookie, ice cream junkie. So I don't want to eliminate it. I want to shrink it. I want to be able to make sure that my health is very important. So I'll be 60 next year. So some things I can still do very well, but I also know that at 60, there's some things that I shouldn't do a lot of. So a lot of the sweets and sugars and things are still good. It's okay to eat in moderation. I'm just not going to eat a bag of Oreos every single week like I have in the past. I mean, that's just something that I can get a bag of Oreos and a gallon of milk and go through that like there's no tomorrow. So that was one of my standards, eliminating those types of things that are delicious, but they're also not very healthy. So the other thing for me on my health related issues was to go from 205 pounds down to 190 pounds. Like, I want to maintain that 190 to 195 weight. So in order to do that, I have to limit the things that are putting weight on me, and I need to get more involved in exercise. So what does that picture look like? What type of exercise would I do to help me get there? Would it be walking? Would it be going to the gym? I've had gym memberships. I can't tell you how many gym memberships I've had as an adult. So in 40 years, I probably had a dozen gym memberships, and I probably went to the gym less than a dozen times. And it was usually the time to go sign up, and then I would hardly ever go back. Gyms are not for me, and I've tried it, and I just know that it's not. So how do I continue to stay engaged? Well, for me, it's probably going to be walking. It's probably going to be more involved in just trying to maintain some level of sit-ups and push-ups at home. I'm going to follow more of the Herschel Walker program that he did before he started playing football at the University of Georgia. His family couldn't afford for him to go to the gym. So all he did was he found everything that was heavy in his neighborhood, and he would try to move objects. He would find things that were really big. And that's just where kind of like that P90X thing came along. It's like, put your body into different types of things so that you're working more muscles in the things that you're doing. So for me, it's activities, it's mowing the grass. It's like, I like doing my own landscaping. So I want to make sure I have a beautiful lawn on my vision board, because that means that I'm the one that's actually physically doing the work, and it will help keep me engaged in physical activities. So getting back to all these different types of things, what kind of income do I need to be able to support some of these things? And I feel like the daily tasks, meeting these levels of standards, are what's going to help me get there. Now, the other things that you start looking at are what are some of the fun things that you can do. For me, I want to travel more promoting LPT Realty. So for me, I'm going to have a picture of my RV on there. And I think about Robin Williams in the movie RV where they were out running around all over the place. And, that's something that's going to be fun. It's going to be entertaining. It'll be great for family. It'll be great for income. And quite frankly, it'll be even great for my faith because there's places that I can go to and I can get closer to God by being in an RV in the nature parts of the country. So those are the things that I feel are important for me. I think that it would be great for every agent and every individual out there to start working on these types of things. So think about it from this. What's beneficial for your faith? What's beneficial for your family? What type of income do you need to have? And then what kind of income would you like to have? And what income are you willing to work towards to get there? Someone asked me a question this past week, and I thought it was pretty interesting. And he says, what are your activities to get you to your income level? And I thought for a minute, and I thought, well, what's interesting is there was a guy at a training conference one time. He told me, if you want to make $1 million, talk to 100 people every single day. And I said, well, I raised my hand and I said, well, what if I only wanted to make $250,000? He said, well, then talk to 25. And I thought, you know what? He's right. When I went back and I started looking at all of my past dialed into things, and I'm starting going, well, how much money did I make? It was very relevant to the number of people that I talk to on a daily basis. You want to make $1 million? Talk to 100 people. If you want to make 250, you got to talk to 25. And I would say that the most of the agents that I know and that I've experienced, they talk between 5 and 10 people a day, and that puts you between $50,000 and $100,000 a year. So that's usually satisfies your needs. It doesn't satisfy your wants, and it doesn't elevate you to the things that you would really like to have. It could potentially create a legacy for your family. So income comes in 3 stages. Let's work towards that. But the other things are what are you going to utilize for your vehicles? Do you want a new car? Do you want to save some money by getting a used car? Put that on your vision board. Say that I would like to drive this. Is it an electric vehicle? Is it a moving from an SUV down to a sports car? Is it having a second car? For a while, I actually had 2 vehicles, and it was kind of fun. I had a little Nissan Juke, and I had a Ford truck. I used the truck to tow the boat, and I had the Juke just to go around and have some fun. And ironically, that little Juke saved me so much money. I paid $20,000 for it in 2014, and I drove it for 8 years. So I had a $20,000 cost in a vehicle for 8 years before I sold it. Now, I don't know if people can do that in today's car prices, but think about, where you're going to be and what you want to do from your budgeting perspective and what kind of car do you want to buy? Do you want a boat? Do you want an RV like we talked about? So I think all those things need to get put on your vision boards. And we have 6 weeks left in this year. So we've got some time to be thinking about what 2024 looks like. So we're going to create our standards. What are the things that we're going to do on a daily basis and a weekly basis going into 24 that are our standards? There are things that we're going to do continuously because it's part of our standard daily practice. That becomes really important. All of these things have to be on this board, 24 by 36 construction board. Make it pretty, make it glitter. And I'd actually like to create some type of a challenge. And if we could work on this over the course of the next week, if you need 2 weeks, that's fine. We've got the Thanksgiving holiday coming up next week. I know a lot of people are going to be spending time with their family. Kids are going to be home from school. People are going to be traveling to go see their family. But let's create a goal to share these vision boards with others somewhere between now and Thanksgiving so that we can be grateful for the things that we've been able to work for so long. We're grateful for the life that we have today, and we're grateful for these opportunities that we get to every single day to go out and be the best real estate agents that we can, simply because we know what our goals are and what we would like to see happen. And they say when you put it out there, somehow the world gives it back to you. So if it's not on a vision board, if it's not on your calendar, guess what? It more than likely doesn't exist. So today's homework for today's flight plan is all about vision boards. And once again, I would like to thank Tammy Goodman with Revolution Mortgage. She's helping out with all these different types of things, and she's done a great job with some of the agents that have actually having her close some deals. I want to congratulate Amy Shelton for getting her first deal closed with Tammy, and we're grateful for Tammy to be a part of our network and the things that she's doing with Revolution Mortgage. So on a happy Monday, I want you to go out, be thinking about your vision boards. If you've got any questions about any of this stuff or just want to talk through some of these things, please reach out to me. I'm happy to help with some of these things, and I'm really looking forward to sharing my vision board. And more importantly, I want to be held accountable to the vision board. I want you guys to make sure that I'm following through on those promises that I'm doing and or that I have on my vision board. So hope you guys have a great day. Happy Monday, and thanks again for tuning in to this edition of the Flight Plan. And I'm really having some fun with this. It's actually helping me organize my time and organize the things that I'm trying to work towards for being a better agent. And I hope they're helping you as well. So you guys make it great, and look forward to seeing you throughout the week. And let me know if there's anything I can do to help you out with your vision for 2024. You guys be good.
Thank you.